YouTube offers a service called YouTube Live that allows anyone to stream from their computer. For teachers, this is a pretty good way to reach your students in real time, whether it's to have a discussion or to answer questions. All you need is a YouTube account, which is really just a Google account, and a webcam. In this video, I'm going to go over some pros and cons of YouTube Live and then show how to set it up and how to stream. First, a couple of pros and cons to using YouTube Live. Some of the pros, first of all, it's live. This gives you an opportunity to connect to your students in real time, whether you want to do an activity, you want to just talk to them, or you want to answer questions. Also, compared to some other services where you can connect with students in real time, you don't need any software and you don't have to download an app. When you do a live stream, the video is automatically saved to YouTube, and you can keep that for your records or you can have students access it at a later time. Also, students don't broadcast audio or video from their computer. The only way that students interact with you is through a text chat. So this is a good way to prevent students interrupting or students feeling like maybe their privacy is being violated. Also, comments can be deleted within the text chat and users can be blocked if people are being inappropriate or if someone you don't know enters the chat. There are some cons to using YouTube Live though. First of which is the fact that it's live. That means that there are no second takes. Everything that happens is live and students can see it immediately. Also, that means that if something unexpected happens in the chat, it has to be dealt with in real time. Another con is that it can be difficult to moderate alone. So while you're streaming, if you're talking to your students, it can be difficult to do that and delete comments and check users at the same time. Luckily, YouTube offers a way where you can assign someone else to moderate, which I'll get to later in the video. Another con is that anybody with the link to your live stream can access it. There's no option to force students to log in or to choose who sees it, which means that if you give the link to your students and they give the link to somebody else, that person can access your live stream. Also, because you use a Google account to access the stream, students may log in using a username that maybe isn't their real name, which can be difficult to see who's a student and who may not be. And finally, due to laws in the US, students under 13 can't access the chat if you're using YouTube Live. So if your students are under 13, it may not be worth it to use this since students can't reply to any of your comments or information. So let's get to setting this up so we can start streaming. To start off, you want to access the YouTube website, and you want to log in either using a personal account that you have or a school-provided Google account. If you click on this camera icon on the upper right, you'll have two options: upload video or go live. Since we want to do a live stream, we want to click on go live. What will most likely happen is you'll have to do an account verification. So you'll need to choose your country and decide whether you want Google to either call you with a code or text you with a code. Once you complete that process, you'll be brought to a screen where you can click on continue, and then you'll be shown a screen that says your account will be ready in 24 hours. So it takes 24 hours for YouTube to set up your account for live streaming. So in the meantime, you have 24 hours to kill before we can do anything else. Alright, so we've waited 24 hours, so now our YouTube channel should be activated and ready to stream. But before we stream, there is a setting that you should change from within an area of YouTube called YouTube Studio. And this setting will censor comments on your videos if they have any inappropriate language. So to change this setting, when you're on YouTube, if you click on your little user icon in the upper right, it'll bring up a menu, and you can click on YouTube Studio. Once you get into YouTube Studio, there is a menu here on the left. And where you want to go is this gear icon, which is settings. Once you go into settings, on the left, you want to go to the last option here that says community. And once you click on that, over here you want to go to defaults, which are the default community settings. So for this, we're going to have a live chat in our live stream. And right here it says messages in your live chat, and you can hold potentially inappropriate chat messages for review. So you definitely want to check that off. That way, if something potentially inappropriate shows up, YouTube will do its best to not show it. So you hit save. And now you can either go back to the main YouTube page or you can hit create here. But let's go back to YouTube just to be safe. Okay, so from the main page, up here on the right, you have this camera icon. It says create a video and more. And when you click on that, you have two options. Your two options are upload video or go live. And because we're doing a live stream, we want to go live. So you can click on this, and you won't go live immediately. There are some settings we have to do first. So the first thing is the default is that your stream is going to be from your built-in webcam. So if you're on a laptop and you have a FaceTime camera, it should automatically pick that along with the microphone in your device. So there are some settings that we need to fill out. First of all, you need to give your stream a name. Anybody who accesses the stream will show this. So for now, we can just put Mr. Belmont's live stream. Now, the second item is pretty important. This is the privacy setting of your stream. So the default is that it's public. We don't want this to be public. We don't want anybody to access it. So if you click on the drop down for this, your three options are public, unlisted, or private. And what we want to do is we want to make our live stream unlisted. So that means you can send a link to the live stream in Google Classroom to your students and they can click on it and access it, but only people with the link can access it. Now, the only drawback to this is that if your students share the link with somebody else, they can access it as well. So next, under audience, it says, is this video made for kids? So there is a law called the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And in the US, it means that kids, which means people who are under 13 years old, they cannot access certain content online. Certain features and certain services aren't available to them. So if you are streaming for students who are under 13 years old or potentially under 13 years old, you have to say that yes, it's made for kids. The downside to this is that you will not be able to have a live chat. But if your students are above or 13 years old or older, you can click on no, it's not made for kids. And what that will do is it will make it so they can use the live chat. On the very bottom here, there are more options. And this can add a description to your stream. You can set a category, which doesn't really matter for this because it's not going to show up in any searches or anything, but just because we can set it to education. And then it's using the FaceTime HD camera and the default built-in microphone. So at the very bottom of this screen, there is this next button here. For my screen right now, it's a little bit covered up by this Stream Now button. But after you fill in all these settings for your stream information, you want to click on Next. But before you do that, something to keep in mind is that what's going to happen automatically when you click Next is it's going to take a thumbnail for your stream. So it's going to take a picture of you. So before you click on Next, make sure that you are camera ready and good to go. And it sometimes gets caught up a little bit. You just gotta wait. And here we have our stream. So right now our stream is basically ready to go. We have our stream information here. We have the live chat here. So before you start your stream, you can click on this button here that says share. You may have to scroll over to see it, and it will give you a link. So this link you can share with your students. You can share it with them before you even go live, and they can wait. So as you see, it says viewers waiting. So as soon as you get to this screen, you can start sharing this. And you're not streaming yet, but they can go to the page and they can wait for you to start streaming. Okay, so we have one viewer waiting. So whenever you're ready to go, all you have to do is you click on Go Live. So now the stream is live. You can see some statistics here about who is in the stream. So we have one person. We've been streaming for about a little over 10 seconds. And as you can see, we have some action in the chat too. So you can type yourself in the chat. In my experience doing this, there's about a 3-second delay between when you say something and the people viewing can see it. So right now, as you see, we have an inappropriate comment in the chat here. So luckily, as you're streaming, you can hide people, you can erase comments, and you can also put people in what's known as timeout. So when you go over a comment, there is this icon here with 3 dots. And when you click on it, you can report something inappropriate. You can just delete the comment. Although this is cut off, this says put user in timeout. What that will do is it will make it so the user cannot type anything in chat for 300 seconds. And they will get an alert saying you've been put in timeout, and there will be a little timer on the bottom that will tell them when they can start contributing again. The second to last item says hide user on this video. What that will do is anything that the user submits will just not appear. So if you have somebody who is in your chat and they're consistently being inappropriate, or they're just putting trash in there, you could just hide them and anything they say won't appear. Also, what you can do, this last option, is you can add a moderator. So what you can do is you could have somebody you know, somebody you trust, come into the chat as well. And if you click on this and make them a moderator, they can delete people's messages, they can put people in timeout, and they can also hide users. So if I just click on this and I say hide user on this channel, it will hide that user's messages. So all these messages that are appearing, they were deleted, so they're not going to show up. And then you can unhide a user. Maybe you decide to be forgiving and you want them to come back. So a few other things about when you're streaming. On the bottom here, there is this meter with these green dots that shows your volume level. Also, there is this microphone icon. You can click on that and it will mute you. So when you click on it, now whatever I'm saying, people who are viewing the stream won't be able to hear it. So this is useful if you need to go do something, or you need to step out, or you need to sneeze or something. And finally, when you're done, all you have to do is click on End Stream right here. So now the stream is over. You'll get a few statistics about it. And what you can do from here is your video is automatically saved by YouTube. So anybody who goes to that link after you've ended your stream will see a replay of the stream. But if we go to Edit in Studio, you can change the information about your video. If you don't want people to go to that link and be able to view the video again, you can scroll down a little bit, and on the right here we have visibility. And what you can do is you can just change this from unlisted to private. And what that will do is nobody can view it. Although, if you want your students to be able to view a replay, you can just leave it as unlisted. You can add a recording date and a location. Also, if you have people doing replays, by default, users can add comments. That might be something that you might want to turn off, or you can leave it on. Or you could review the comments. Usually what I do is I just disable them. So you hit save, and that's about it. So now your video is saved. And here's how you can view your video from the main YouTube page. If you go to YouTube and you click on your icon in the upper right, and you go to YouTube Studio, and then on the left, the second icon here, it says videos. There are any other videos you've uploaded, and then under this tab, you can see your past live streams. So these are two that I had tested out, and then here we have a live replay of the stream that we just did. So that's about it. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions about using YouTube Live, there are more options that you can use, but you can always go ahead and reach out, and I'd be happy to help or offer some advice. Thanks for watching.